Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to another episode of Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name's Danny, and for the next 2 hours I'm going to be painting some miniatures live, and hopefully with your company, for that's what it's all about. It's an online painting club, obviously, so come along and make some friends over here in the live chat. I always point that way. I think they appear down there for you. Whatever device it is that you're on, there's a live chat, and you can kind of join in with those guys if you want to. If you're painting something this evening, come and tell me all about it. I'd love to know. I'm genuinely interested in all the projects that you guys are working on. And I genuinely do feel motivated and inspired. So come along and share your plans and your projects for this evening so that I can be wowed by them all. This evening I'm going to be starting on a slightly different project. I say slightly different, quite a different project than what I normally am working on. Today I'm working on a project for somebody else. Geoff's already mentioned it in the live chat over there. I'm kind of doing a commission job, and I'm hoping that this isn't going to take too long. I've got quite a while to do it. I've got up until October. That might be taking the mick a little bit. Shouldn't take me that long at all. I'm hoping just a couple of weeks. But more on it in just a second. If you want to know more, because I don't know the whole story, ask Geoff over at Purple Line Creations. He's my dad, so naturally I'm going to do stuff for him too. But if you want to know more about the project, he's making a big build for a customer. There's a show, I believe like a game show, going on in October, and this is going to be a big part of it. The miniatures that I'm painting today, I think are more for like the publicity and photo shoot kind of side of it, but they will be packaged up and sent away with the thing at the same time. So yeah, a double-sided coin there. I get to do a publicity thing, and I get to give my stuff to a customer, which I think is lovely. So yeah, if you like what we do here at Easy 8, please do consider subscribing to the show. Every subscriber goes a long way to making the community that much bigger and better, and I genuinely do feel the company when you guys come along. So please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you know whenever I go live. I'll tell you what, it's every Friday. So yeah, Friday from 7 till 9. Sometimes I do sneaky little videos. You know, who knows? Maybe someday I'll start doing some like YouTube shorts and get with the program or something and be like a normal person on YouTube. So if you hit the bell icon, you'll always know when I do something. Yeah, there you go. Give us all a thumbs up. I'd love it if you give a thumbs up. But you know what? I'm going to give you just a second. Go hit that thumbs up button. I'll wait. I've got some tea. Go on. It's just a little button. Just do it. You know what you got to do? That tastes like burning. Anyway, thank you so much for those of you that have subscribed and thumbs up the video. Share Easy 8, get the word of it out there. Tell some friends, tell some colleagues. Take it to college, whatever it is. Take it to work. Yeah. Who have we got joining in the live chat today? We've got Shiv from Table of Horrors, we've got Stafford, we've got Geoff, we've got Kez, we've got Crumbs, and that's it for the moment. Hi guys, thank you very much for coming along. If you do want to join in with the live chat, let us know who you are, where you're from, what it is that you're working on. Or don't, and that's entirely up to you. There we go, I'm going to take you straight over to the workbench, here we go. So, a couple of little miniatures here, mounted on some little coins. There we go, some little penny coins there for you. These little fellas are 4 members of White Team First Corps SAS. And if anybody knows their stuff, I don't. And I'm literally just going off of what was written on the box when it was given to me. This is the guys that dealt with the hostage terrorist situation in the Iranian Embassy in 1980. I have the privilege of doing a little thing for these guys, making them all look super cool, and I've got a bit of a plan. Now, I've never painted anything to do with the SAS. I've never really painted anything kind of modern in historical military terms. So I had to go and do a little bit of an image search. Now, here on my phone, because I haven't had the time in my very busy work schedule, I'm going to get the studio lights in there. Look at that. Lovely bit of behind the scenes. Yeah, I've had to do a little bit of an image search to try and find like the colours and whatever, because these guys could all be ninja black, and that's not how they were dressed, and even if they were, that would be a little bit boring, wouldn't it? So the idea here is to make them look a little bit more lively. So I'm having a look at these pictures here, and I can see there's quite a bit of green in these photos. My phone is cracked and damaged. It's the screen protector, not the phone. I'm not allowed nice things. If I try and shine it in a direction where you don't get most of the studio lights, you can see that on this guy's hood, there's a lot of green. It's a dark green. It's got a lighter green trim. The mask that he's wearing is just the gas masks that the SAS wear. These guys are all like wearing black masks, black gloves. They got black guns. Their jackets are almost a greeny. It does look different from the hoods that they're wearing, and it looks like that might be a collar from this guy's jacket. So I wonder if the hood is a separate element. Having a little look over them all, it looks like that the hoods are separate features. Now, it could be that there's a lot of black and a lot of green, and that's kind of all of it. But if you have a look at the trousers here, they look like that they're green. They could be grey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of artistic direction, and I'm going to use black sparingly, and I'm going to use different greys and greens and all sorts to try and get a nice looking thing. Now, I know the customer, for example, probably has their own miniatures painted up, and I could go and try and find pictures of those miniatures, and I could try and match the colour schemes, but I'll never get it quite right if I do. So what I thought that I would do is just do my own, make them look really nice, and hopefully the customer appreciates them. They are pewter models, so I'm going to have to think about the wear and tear as I'm painting these. I'm thinking about mounting them on corks. I've got like a little miniature holder as well. I'm going to probably have to use that because pewter just means that it's going to fall off in my hands all the time. When I'm touching them, all the paint's going to come off. There's probably going to be a lot of varnishing along the way as well. I think I'm going to spray them grey. I don't want them too bright, but I don't want them black either. I want some of the colours to pop a little bit more. So those green colours that I'm going to use, I want them to kind of shine through with a little bit of vibrancy. So, yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of fun with these. There are some details on there that I'm going to try and pick out. I'm having a look at them now, and I can see like all the magazine pouches and things on them. They're all black as well. There's an obvious reason why the SAS don't wear colours that might be consistent with like Warhammer or heroic miniature games, but I've got to try and make them look a little bit more interesting than just basically ninjas with guns, right? That's kind of the thing here. So the first things first is I'm just going to prime them, so that means I've got to turn the airbrush on. Let's crank that bad boy up, and I'm just going to give them a little bit of primer. Now, they are really nice miniatures. I'm not a big fan of pewter or lead. I don't like metal models at all. They've come without bases. My dad has very nicely put them on little pennies for me. He likes mounting things on pennies. And he's put a little bit of clay over the top of them as well. I spent a little bit of time earlier on just trying to clean up some of the mould lines, etc. on them, and also just filing down the clay because it, in some cases, is right up against the side of the boots, and I didn't want that. So I just tried to make them look as neat and tidy as possible, and I'm not really fussed about the bases. I just want them to look tidy, basically, just tidy. So yeah, just going to give them all a nice uniform coat of grey primer. Despite them being metal, they are really nice miniatures, and what I like about them is because they're using MP5s. I do know a little bit about guns. They're using these little MP5s, and they're not long barrels, so there's no bent parts on them. They're actually in very good condition. And they're nice clean sculpts. They're really nicely sculpted as well. They're quite chunky little models. I really like that. I'm aware that my brightness is going a bit crazy today. Let's see. Can I control my brightness? That's never normally a factor. Maybe it's just because they're really, really bright metal. Let's just take that down a little. Can I kill them now? That's a little bit better, isn't it? Let's stay with that for a second. I'll come back to it if I need to change it again. They're all in slightly different poses. There's some running poses, moving poses. Quite like this guy here. He's walking, but he's got his hand on top of the gun there. That's quite nice. This guy's taking a little bit of an aim. I like them. They're nice. Hopefully, when I've got a little bit of primer on them, they won't be so shiny. So, let me get some surface primer here. That's white. That's not the colour I wanted at all. Here's some grey. Lovely. I'm just going to give that a really good shake. I need it to flow well. So, I'm just going to have a little look through the live chats while I'm just hand-wazzing here. Rude. And see what people are talking about, doing tonight, etc. Danny's working for me tonight, so no messing about, alright? Yeah, got it. Cheers, Dad. Thanks. Yes, you're right, I'm working for you. 4 more subs till the fuzzy ones making appearances, Crumbs. Yeah, we've had a couple of subscribers over the last couple of weeks. If you're new to the show, welcome. It really does make my day when we get new subscribers. I really want the show to be somewhere nice for people to hang out, paint the miniatures with a bit of live company, because, we've all got mountains of unpainted plastic, and it's just a nice place to come along and, get some colour on your grey stuff, right? Or your silver, in this case. So yeah, hopefully you find a nice little home here to come along and paint your miniatures with. Stafford saying, he's great, it's a Friday. Kes saying, not bad, it's been a nice day. You're right, it has been a nice day. It's nice and sunny and it's not too hot in the studio. Got the fan on though. Friday's always a good day. Kes says that she started cleaning up a big 3D print. Yes, I saw a picture of this the other day. Kes has ordered, because it was a failed print on your own printer, wasn't it? Which is a real shame, but a huge Battletech Orion dropship. And it looks incredible. So take your time with it and enjoy the journey. Give it a good old clean up. And it would be really nice to see some paint on that. I'd like to see some like real scorch marks go up the side of it. That would look really cool. Table of Horrors. Shiv says, working on a Blood Angels Contemptor tonight, my first. Ooh, photos or it never happened. You can share photos of all of your works, by the way, on Facebook, at the Easy8 Facebook page, or on Discord. I was going to say Instagram, but that's for me. You can share your stuff on Facebook and Discord if you want to. There are links to all of our platforms just downstairs. Go and have a little look down there somewhere. What else is going on? Stafford is painting 15mm tanks. Surprise, surprise. Oh, and Crumbs is working on a cat jigsaw. He is on my laptop looking for a fuss. Ah, lovely. Oh, you're looking after your cat called Jigsaw. I thought you were making a jigsaw of your cat. Love that. Cool. Please don't chop up your cat. I think you'll find it is in fact a very, very, very dark blue. I have it on good authority from an Irish priest. Ah, okay. Do you know what? I'm looking at the photo, and right in the middle, so on the side of the armour, it's all laced up down the side, and there is a dark blue in there. So if I see that little detail on them, I'll be sure to have a little play with that as well. But yeah, I don't think I have a blue dark enough, and I don't want to like mix up my own dark blue. I think I'll stay on track, stay with what I got, and maybe I can have some like blue tones to it. Ooh, that's a nice idea. Okay, cool. More with the hand wazzing. I do need a piece of paper to spray all this on too, so let me get one of those. Cool. Here we go. Gonna fill the odd hopper up. But first of all, it's been a little while since I've used this. I need to make sure that the needle could do with a bit of a clean ever so quickly. I have had a couple of days off, and I could have come up and done this on my days off. But you know what? It doesn't feel like I've had time off. I've been working so hard lately. Oh, that was tight. So much, so hard lately that it's yeah, doesn't feel like I've had any time off. Bit of a shame. What can you do, eh? Right, I'm going to get a little bit of cleaner here. Some 50-50 cleaner. I call it 50-50. It's water and cleaner. It still holds all the properties of the cleaner, but it just makes it go that little bit further. And occasionally I do run neat cleaner through the airbrush, especially if there's something particularly aggressive in there. Varnishes can be pretty aggressive, and some primers, frankly. Got all that dirt on there. I thought I cleaned it out properly last time. You really should invest in Wazomatic. Yeah, I should, but just trying to be careful with my money at the moment. I managed to get through Prime Day without spending anything. I had to buy some new shoes recently. I had to buy a new car. So, yeah. But I will. I'd like to really improve the camera that looks down here so that I can actually have an autofocus that works with me rather than against me, which is often how it feels. The camera here is very good. It just doesn't have a very fast autofocus rather, which just means that if I'm moving something around, it doesn't keep up and you can't see what it is that I'm working on. Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this through backwards and push any rubbish that's in there out. And then what I'll do is I'll drop a couple of drops just on the side of the needle and let it run down into the actual paint chamber. And there's a nice little bit of texture on the end of the needle there, some little lumps and bumps, and that'll just kind of, along with the cleaner, just to help shift anything that's inside that paint chamber and push it out. Nothing bad. Just not been used for a little while. And clearly I didn't clean it out properly the first time. Lovely. Okay, cool. Just gonna rebuild my airbrush so it's ready to rock and roll. Do you know what? I'm going to give another shout out to Darren. He's not always online, but he saved me a little while ago with when my compressor broke. And he's an engineer and is into all sorts of things, hydraulics and pneumatics and things like that, and basically made a little bypass valve on my compressor, and it just saved the day. Thanks for that, Darren. Really appreciate that, mate. Cool. Got a little bit of rubbish inside the hopper there. Any plans for the grown-up juicer afterwards? I'm still, although not as bad lately, still struggling with the headaches. I get migraines. I'm very unlucky. I get all the different types of headaches. So like migraines is just one of the type of bad headache. I get stress headaches, tension headaches, hypertension, and cluster headaches are the ones that are the real bad ones for me. And I'm one of 0.1% of the population that gets them. And so my neurologist tells me for no reason. So yeah, I've got to be really careful when I start having little bouts of them, and I've been having them lately, so I'm just trying to not drink so much alcohol at the moment. I'm not a big drinker. I do like to have a cheeky grown-up juice in the evenings with you guys. Not tonight. I had a glass of wine the other night, about 3 nights ago, with a meal with my partner, and it was lovely, and afterwards I could feel the headaches coming on, so I'm just going to give it an avoid for a little while. You know, be sensible. Drink sensibly, kids. Maybe I shouldn't have used the word kids there at the end. You know what I mean. Cool. That's a bit grotty in there, isn't it? Let's use one of these bad boys. Love a cotton ball because you can open it up and you get loads of mileage for your money. Just pop a little bit of cleaner in there. Cluster headaches, you have my full sympathies, Danny. Thank you very much. Someone else who probably knows what I'm talking about. They're really, really rare, and it took me a long time to work out what they actually were. They're horrendous. I think they are, for me, associated with stress, and I also think the temperature. So like at this time of the year is when I often get them, and obviously the weather improves. It gets brighter. I wear sunglasses a lot outside to help with the glare. And obviously when it gets sunnier, the air pressure goes up, doesn't it? And I think that's got a little bit to play with it as well. And it's probably a lot of everything, including you're just unlucky, bro. You know, I think there's a lot of that in there as well. And you just have to get on with it. And when you have a turn, for lack of a better term, it sucks, and you just have to find something to be happy about. Yeah. What can you do? So I'm gonna mix up a load of this with a little bit of thinner. I want it to stretch that a little bit further than normal. So one of the things I do like to use thinner on is primer. I'm gonna put 3 drops, 4 drops, 2, 3. Let's see how far that goes. Let's mix that up. I'm trying to get a nice little brain scan about the headaches to find out a little bit more about it. find out why I'm getting them, can I control them any better than what I do, and you know, just learn a little bit more. But the last time I went to see my neurologist, he rang a tuning fork in my ear, shined a light in my eyes, and then just told me that I'm just unlucky, which is sad. Okay, here we go. So, just get a bit of a flow test going on here. Cool. There's probably a little bit of cleaner left inside the paint chamber there that just needs to blow out a little bit. So, there we go. Let's just get that through. It's quite difficult at the minute to see where the grey is going. I'm just trying to get a nice gentle coverage on there. Let that dry, and I'll come back to it and put a heavier coat all over it. And this is going to be very, very delicate, this coat. It's very difficult to see where it's going because it's kind of almost the same colour as the pewter. So I'm just looking for that metally shine. When it goes matte, I know that I've got a good coverage on there. I want to make sure that I get this everywhere. If I'm painting plastic miniatures, sometimes I can be a little bit cavalier and I don't really care because I know that eventually the paint's going to stick to the plastic. But with metal, I've had nothing but horrid times with painting metal in the past. Just about getting a really, really nice, consistently even layer. Starting to see some mould lines coming up now. That tells me that I've got a good layer of primer on there. Also a bit of a shame that I couldn't remove them, but I just really struggled cleaning up metal models. I did try to have a little bit of a go of it earlier on, but there's going to be a little bit, there's always going to be a little bit left over. I hope that the paint scheme is going to hide a lot of it. Very, very gently, just going to pop him down. Stay there. Let's go to the next one. Geoff says, "Oh, do you get them because of your alien implant?" Yeah. A lot of people say it could be the aliens. Any plans for the 200th painting club diorama build? Do you know what? I haven't even thought about that. No, I haven't. Do you know, I've been so invested in my work lately that I've not even given it much thought that it's the 200th episode coming up some time. Well, not, I say some time away. It's quite close. I've been focusing on subscriber counts lately, just kind of watching that number tick up. It goes up, it goes down. That's fine. That this sort of show's not for everybody, and I appreciate and value that. That's fine. But getting to 200 subscribers is kind of a big deal for me. I never expected this channel to be a big thing. I never expected it to be a big deal, and 200 subscribers to me tells me that it sort of is. I did this as a little bit of a project and a thing to kind of get me motivated to paint during lockdown, and I was going to stop, and I had people getting in touch with me going like, please don't, it's so important for my mental health to have this. So I kept it going, and I've been following that kind of train of thought for a while. You're right, we should do something a little bit differently, and I don't know what, so some ideas perhaps. A diorama sounds like a lovely thing to do. What do? I don't know. So yeah, answers on a postcard. Get your thoughts in. Right, that's another one done. They're starting to look really nice already. I get migraines, was terribly sensitive to the air pressure when I was in Japan. Ah, right, so maybe I'm onto something with the air pressure, and I'm so sorry to hear about your headaches. I try to ignore it as much as I can. I am one of those guys that will just kind of press on when a little bit poorly. Not because I feel that I need to, but just because, well, I can with my job, and as long as I'm not like contagious, I always will. I did make myself very, very poorly some years ago and actually gave myself pneumonia because I wasn't listening to my body. So I'm actually quite aware of the dangers that presenteeism can provide you. Don't work through being sick, but you know, when you're feeling rough and you know that you can just kind of carry on. I am that guy. I will just kind of push on a little bit. Work's a nice distraction sometimes. Although when I was having these headaches just the other week when they came back for me, there was an evening where I sat in the office for about 3 hours and I'm pretty sure I did nothing. And yeah, I was just kind of the supervisor on centre really, and yeah, that was a bit rubbish. You just can't concentrate, you just can't focus, and it hurts. Takes all your energy away, and your brain power. So even if I was sat in the office thinking about stuff I could do for the 200th episode of Easy 8, I was just sat there going like a cabbage. A horrible sensation. Lovely. Let's have a little sip of my tea. I've got one more to go. We could paint a Warhammer 40k miniature and send it in, have an Easy 8 squad. Oh my god! I love that. What a great idea. Paint a Warlord site. I tell you what, you fund it, I'll paint it. How's that for you? I'll get my 3-inch brush out. Yeah, that would be fun. You're absolutely right. I love the idea of painting up an Easy 8 squad. Party popper and cake. Lots of cake and vodka cake. Just an idea. And we can all wear our own clothes that day too. Do you know what? It's what episode are we on? 177. So we're 23 episodes away. That's the end of the year, isn't it? Because 26 weeks, half of the year. So we're looking December time for the 200th episode. Can we all get together? Can we all come together online? Can we meet at a neutral safe space? All come together and all go online? Tell me if that's something you would like to do or are you comfortable with? Because not everyone's happy being on camera. Or coming together. That's fine, I respect that. But if that's something you'd like to do, we can do that. Maybe it's like the first step in a bigger, wider community. Maybe we can turn it into an event. What I can tell you is that time will pass very quickly. So if we've got ideas and it takes a little bit of time to get the things in order, be aware of that. In December, Easy 8 will be heading to between Bradford and Leeds in a place called Pudsey for our second visit to Recon, where we'll have a little table set up there as well. So maybe we can coincide it with that. So those of you that are a little further afield, maybe getting to Pudsey is an easier thing to do. And the Easy 8 crew will be going up there in a couple of cars, so there'll be a few of us coming up. So tell me what you think. How would we all paint our own squad? We'd all have to have our own kind of character, wouldn't we? It's kind of... I'm interested. Primer fingers now. What's the 40k equivalent of a spearhead? I think they just call it a spearhead, don't they? An Easy 8 Space Marine Combat Patrol. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that sounds cool. Right, now that I've given them their first coat, ever so gently, I'm just going to pick them up and I'm going to give them quick spray overs, and I want to get their bases involved too. So I'm going to just spread them out a little bit so they've got easier to get them on. Do you know what I've got here? I bought this a little while ago and I've not used it since. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. I bought a turntable for this kind of thing, but I get terribly held up on spraying paint on something that doesn't need to be painted. So I just need to get over myself, don't I? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move that away. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to spray it. It's to be sprayed on, right? Get over yourself. Oh, I hate this. I'm not having a good time at all. Okay, do you know what, actually? I could probably do with putting that down because I'm going to get paint everywhere still, aren't I? So here we go. So it will spray, it'll turn into them, and then I'll spray it that way, won't I? Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do that. First time I've used it. Okay. You should all be proud of me. I'm really stretching out here. Comfort zones and everything are all disappearing. Some of that you're not going to see in the camera shot there, but I can promise you I am airbrushing them. Eighth company, love that. Chapter colours of white, black and grey with the Easy 8 logo as a chapter symbol. Yeah, you try and write easy in that small text. That's going to be tough, man. Deathwatch, not like they got any other use now. Oh, I love Deathwatch. Do you not like Deathwatch? Do you not like the game? Have you painted miniatures and don't have any use for them because you don't play the game anymore? I love the concept of Deathwatch. I played the game Deathwatch once and I really enjoyed it. I also played Blackstone Fortress, and while the concept was a little alien to me, it was fun. What I can see is going to happen with these miniatures is I'm going to be taking the paint off those bases all the time, especially on the edges of them. I'm going to be handling them a lot. Obviously coins are made from metal. This is acrylic paint, it's not going to hold on to it very well. I do have some oil paint, so if I need to I can do that, but that'll be like a later thing. I'm not so worried if the paint comes off the bases all the time during this build. I just need to I want to just get everything kind of together now. They are looking really nice though. Got a little bit of primer left over, so I'm just trying to find little uses for it, just making sure that every side of these guys has all got a little bit of primer on them. Now that I've got that first little bit of paint on the turntable, I'm really not that precious about it now. It's just that first bit. Does anybody else get like that when it's the first time, you know, dirting the new thing? Oh, it just makes me feel horrible. Cool. Lovely. Right, I'm just going to purge out the airbrush, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be sensible. I'm going to hit them with a little layer of varnish because I want to protect that primer as much as possible. Danny is Alfarius. I love it. Oh, easy solution. We paint them how we want. Say they're all Alpha Legion. Love it. I think I've missed some comments here. Just going back up. Staff says, if half the subscribers paint a marine, we'd have a company. Just saying. Yeah, love it. I love Deathwatch. It's Games Workshop that hate Deathwatch now. Why do they hate them? Why do you believe that? Tell me what I'm missing out. Deathwatch are appearing in the new and upcoming Imperial Agents Codex, and GW seem to hate the Malleus more. You have to look at the new Cotiers model. Cool, I haven't seen them. I have seen the quick snippets of the new Deathwatch stuff coming out for the new Imperial Agents thing, update, release. That's the word I'm looking for. Excuse me, I had a repeating bit of dinner there. I didn't realise that everybody thought that they've not received the love that they need. Deathwatch are great. I love it. I love Space Marines in a Secret Service, isn't it? It's just great. I love the concept of it. Oh, and evening all. Hi Adrian, nice to see you again. I hope you're doing well. I don't have a bit of tissue, and last week, do you remember when I was using my new tissue holder? I messed it up well bad. Also have a lot of paints that probably could go away back into the holder that are in the way. See? Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get some more tissue out here. Nope, I keep on pulling it out. I've got so much tissue on this roll that it just pulls out of the thing. I've got a really fat roll of kitchen roll. There we go. But at least it keeps it all nice and neat and tidy on my desk, as well before I just had everything all over the place. Right. So the next thing I want to do is get some varnish. I'm going to put a little bit of satin varnish on here because I have gloss, satin and matte, and I use satin the least, so it'll be a nice way of kind of making all my varnishes last a little bit longer, rather than not using one at all and using all the others more. So yeah, and also have a bit of a sheen to it, so I will be able to see where I'm spraying it on these miniatures. I want some thinner on this as well, don't I? Okay. I don't think I need much in the way of varnish. I just want a little bit on there. Now I have to be very careful with how I pick them up. Here we go. Having to go quite heavy with it so I can see the shine in the light. There's some undercross on this one here that I haven't really taken the primer very well, but that should be okay. Gonna run out of that varnish. I don't think I've made enough of that. Already it's coming off the coin base there, but what can you do? Especially when I've got paint on my fingertips. It's gonna pull it all off. Tricksy small bases. If they had like 32mm bases, it'd be much easier to hold them. What can you do? I was going to mount them on some larger bases, but I quite like them on these little pennies. I think it kind of fits the vibe of them a little bit more. When you think of pewter or lead minis, you think of a time gone, you know, the olden days of miniature making, painting, etc. And not, of course, you would have been basing on anything, and coins were the main thing, weren't they? So I like it. I'm going to try and keep it all in that same sort of mindset. Right, you can go over there. Last one, and I'll have a little bit of an airbrush cleanup. I've got just enough varnish, I think. Love that, just enough varnish. Cool, you can go there, wonderful. Right, I think that's almost everything airbrush related today, unless I do more varnishing on them. So I'm just going to take that hopper off a minute because that needs a really good clean out. You always get like a layer of scummy dried paint, and if you agitate that when you're mixing up new colours, it's just going to peel off, go inside the paint chamber and clog up your airbrush. So I really like to get in there and give it a really good wipe down. I've just got a cotton bud with a giant piece of cotton ball on the end of it. Just made myself a huge cotton bud. Geoff says it might be a nice idea to paint the edge of the base white, as they are a white team. His other SAS minis are on pennies, by the way. Oh, okay, there you go. So it makes it kind of stay in with the whole theme. I like that. Cool. Yeah, and I like the idea of painting them white. Do you want like the whole base white? Because I was going to paint like a nice dark grey, just so they kind of blend in with anything that they're stood on, and hopefully it should make them pop. Do you want them white? What colour do you want them? Is the Easy 8 Space Marine chapter Codex compliant? No. No, far too neurodivergent for that, mate. Could you imagine me trying to follow the rules? Blech. Right, get the purge tank. Here it is. Let's get that hopper back on there. Be right with you. Push that water through. So, Bovington and Cobberton, which quiet days are we looking at? So, good question. I'm halfway through the summer holidays where I work. There are 6 weeks to the UK summer holidays, so we're only actually providing holidays for the 4 weeks this year. Cost of living crisis and all that has meant it's a shorter time, and at the end of those 4 weeks I've got 3 weeks potential holiday dates. So ideally what I need to do is sit down with my partner, look at the dates that we want to take together if we can, book my holiday, and in and around that we can look at going to places. That's just me. Obviously I need to kind of tie that in with dates that you guys are available as well. So if anybody wants to go to any events this year with the Easy 8 crew, you should say, so that we know what it is that we're doing. But yes, Cobberton is a very local place to me and some of the Easy 8 team. And I think it started off life as an individual who had just an interest in all things war memorabilia, and just had a personal collection that probably got a little bit out of hand and turned into a small local museum. But they're closing down and selling off a lot of their stuff. So not that I want to buy their stuff, I don't have the money or the interest for that, but it's the last chance to go and see it all, and I haven't been since I was a wee child, so I'd love to go to Cobberton. Bovington, of course, is just the world's most famous tank museum because it's got the only operational Tiger there. So yeah, I know we're always going there. I love it there. Why wouldn't you want to go there? It's full of tanks. Smallfish 16, hello everyone. First time I've seen Smallfish 16 in the live chat. Welcome to the show, Smallfish. I'm going to call you Fish, if that's okay, because it's easier for me to say. Fish. Hi, I hope you enjoy your time here. I hope you find something of worth and value. Please make some friends. These guys are all sound, and if you are working on something this evening, tell us what you're working on. I'd love to know. Table of Horrors says, what about Night Lords, 8th Legion? Best I can do. I don't really know much about the legions. I know that the Night Lords are all like kind of bat symbols and lightning and, you know, dirty murdering buggers. So yeah, I kind of like that. Not murdering, obviously, like in a fantasy world. I mean, shut up, Danny. Christ. Cool. So let's talk about the colours that I'm going to be painting these SAS guys. So if I just go back to my phone over here, I could have, if I had time and I was thinking about it properly, I could have actually loaded this image on the screen and brought it up for you, but I haven't, so I have to use my phone. What I need to do is find some colours that I'm happy with here. So I'm definitely going to be using black for the body armour, and if you ever look carefully here, I don't know if you can quite see it so well. Can you see it? I don't know. now. I've not done a very good job of this. Let me see if I can bring the brightness up. Whoop, there we go. That's showing it a bit better. There's like a little lace-up bit just on the side of this guy here. Just here. I don't know if you can see it so well. My lights are very glary, aren't they? But there's a little bit of dark blue in there. I'm not really going to worry about it that much. What I want to do is I want to find a nice dark, very dark olive green. And I've got a lot of those sorts of colours here. I want to find a black for the body armour, and I want to do like greys, maybe with a tinge of green to the trousers and the sleeves and whatever they got going on in there. Now that photo reference is probably going to be more for my benefit than yours on today's show. I will upload that photo to the Facebook page, so if any of you want to see it, do you know what? I can do that now, so you guys can refer to it if you want to. But yeah, me trying to show it on the screen there is clearly not having the best impact. So bear with me a second. And let's go to Easy8 Facebook page, where you can go now if you want to. You can go on to Easy8, share your photos, have a look at mine. Here we go. Click, and I'll quickly call it First Call SAS. That's not how you spell SAS. You think that would be easy, wouldn't you? White team. There we go. Post. So now if you guys pop on over to Facebook, you can see that. Picture yourselves. And you'll see exactly what I mean. I don't want to boost the post. Why do I want to boost the post? Yep, I'd love to leave it. Thank you. Yikes. There we go. It's a really nice photo. It's the only colorized version that I could find that gave all their colour in all its glory. You'll find that photo a lot in black and white, but I found it in colour because I'm super awesome. Right. So what I could do is quickly give them a very light wash, just to bring out all the details. And I'm actually going to rely on washes quite a bit to add a filter. So I've got colours like this. This is layer colour, Lauren Forest. It's a nice green. It's almost the same hue, but it needs to be real dark. And I think for their hoods, that if I use that colour with a nice decent layer, excuse me, got the hiccups again, of the Silicanum Grey wash, that's, I think I'm going to use that as an overall unifying wash colour. I think that will darken down lovely. Using the grey wash over the top of the black armour is not really going to do much at all, so that's fine. And I'm looking at their sleeves. I was thinking I was just going to do them grey, but they are also green, aren't they? I could do them grey, I could do them green. I think I might just... Oh, what do I do? I don't know. I think I'm just going to go for it. There's a lot of people saying some things here. Danny, I do not have the Silicanum Grey. Is it a dark or light grey? Good question. It looks like it's a really light grey underneath, but it's more this colour. If I give this a really good shake, it's a very dark grey. It's an all-in-one boiler suit. Seen some blue, some black, others seen black, a few almost green, it says Geoff. Okay, cool. There you go. I'm going to bring the brightness back up again because I took that down earlier on. There's my brightness back up again. So you can see that it's close to being black. It's a nice cut, like a tyre rubber black, so it's almost like with Corvus black. It's very similar to that. If I give that a bit of a shake, I'd say that they are very similar. The Silicanum Grey is a contrast paint, obviously. I water it down and it takes on very wash-like properties. Very nice stain. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some of this Silicanum Grey in a pipette, and I do a 50-50 mix. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to 6 drops of each. 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes quite a long way, but I want a lot of it because I want to do a nice wash all over these guys, just to bring out the details on them so I can see what it is that I'm painting. The problem with painting you know, just primed miniatures like this. So you can see the details, but you can't see the details. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to do it 5 rather than 50-50, like just slightly more in the paint rounds, just so I can get like a slight more filter going on. Cool. Let me get one of my brushes here. I'm just using my number 2 Kolinsky brush, because it can hold a lot of the wash in one go. I'm going to wet the bristles down a little bit. There we go. Okay, cool. Quick mix. There we go. Now I don't want to like go super heavy with this. I just want to show myself, I could water that down a bit more actually, where all the details are. By spreading this out all over, really helps me determine where defining edges are, etc. Now I'm not really after a specific effect here, other than I just want it to show me the model. So I don't really care if it pulls. I don't want it to pull really, but I'm not going to get so hung up if it doesn't. If it doesn't go into some areas, it's going to be difficult for me to kind of see them apart from everything else. So I do want to make sure that I get some good coverage. There. Now I can see all the detail on him, and it's going to really help me pick out all the areas. So I can see that I've got a sleeve, I can see that I've got body armour, and I'm probably going to do the body armour very, very dark grey so that I can do like a black wash over it to help pick out the details. Hoods are going to be green. Geoff is saying that the overalls, what colour were we saying the overalls were? Some are blue, some are black. I mean, I could do like a bluey tinge to them, but this image that I've loaded up onto Facebook, it definitely looks like there's a green hue to it, and that could just be the age of the photo. Could be the way it was developed, who knows? But the rest of the colours seem pretty true in that photo. You can see that it's old, but it does look true. Yeah, that's really helpful. It's a really nice effect. It's doing its thing. So many comments going in trying to keep up here. Let's go back up a little bit. Night Lords, Batman's bigger, harder, nastier brother with severe anger issues and little impulse control. Yeah, I love that too. Pro Aquarel Black Grey should be a good colour for you. Yeah, I don't have that colour unfortunately. Looks almost black. It is almost black. Yeah. Which chapter is the Easy 8 chapter descended from, or is it Chimera Gene Seeds? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I suppose that the easiest thing to go with here is, are we the good guys? In a world of good and bad, are we the baddies or are we the goodies? Because that'll whittle it down a little bit. Geoff says, I've now seen a load of pics of the uniforms and there's a lot of different colours used. Yeah, I believe that. I suppose with the SAS they probably wear what they want to wear, and I should imagine that they probably agree as a single unit what it is that they're going to take, so that they all kind of work together. But I should imagine that no one unit really has, it probably stands out, has its own identity a little bit. That's my take on it. I'm not a part of the SAS, so I don't really know. But it does look, it looks more green on here. So a simple way of me dealing with this is if I was to paint the hoods green and put a grey wash over the top, darken them down, I think that if I put a second layer of the grey over the top of it, would darken them down enough to match that, I think. If you have a look at the guy right at the bottom in that photo, his hood is really, really light, but his sleeve is really, really dark. There's a lot of variation going in there, probably a lot of sun bleaching and things like that. Yeah, who knows. Crumb says, Danny as a chapter master using a force hammer. Yeah, love a hammer. For those of you that don't know, I'm a part of a medieval fighting group, do reenactments and street theatre and tournaments and stuff. I've been doing it for a long, long time, and the Warhammer has always been one of my favourites. It is just a coincidence that Warhammer is the name of my favourite game hobby. So yeah, maybe a hammer suits. The hammers that I use, of course, are nothing like the Warhammer hammers, because the Warhammers are too much Warhammer for one Warhammer. How much Warhammer could a Warhammer hammer if a hammer had too much Warhammer? Glad we're having this conversation. Really what I'm looking for here is a nice clean model that shows off the detail in a way that isn't box art style. So I could paint the gun, for example, jet black and have the gloves on them, even though they're wearing black leather gloves. I could have the gloves in a slightly lighter black, like a nice grey that kind of just makes the hand stand out from the gun, so it just doesn't turn into just one big blob in the middle. So there's a lot of artistic direction to go along with this, as well as getting the colours right. But any suggestions, thoughts and ideas, I'm all ears. Lovely. Okay, let's wash that out. I think it's time to go for a bit of a break anyway. Once again, my menus aren't working. Come on, menus, there we go. Need to sort that out. But honestly, who's got the time? Right. Yeah, catch up on some of the comments there. Shiv says, you can tell from all the skulls with the good guys. A chapter serf called Yorick. Shiv, yeah. Yorick is cool. Yarick is cool. It's not the Blood Angels. No, we're not the Blood Angels. Crumb ratio. A force sword? Are you saying that I have telepathic powers? I didn't really ever fancy myself as a librarian. Librarians are cool though. Am I going to be painting Baldric? Do you have a cunning plan to paint him? I knew him well as he owes me 20 quid in paint. And a pint. Danny, you can tell by the size of his pile of his opportunity. Can you paint a target on it and call it a weasel staff? Okay, it's getting a bit out of control now, isn't it? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go and wash my hands and get all this primer off my fingertips. I'm going to go and make another cup of tea. I would join you in a grown-up juice this evening, but like I say, I'm just trying to avoid the headaches. So I think I'm going to stay away from the booze tonight. Drink sensibly, huh? And responsibly. Get rid of that cat fur off of my... That. Lovely. Yeah, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So I'll see you a second. Whatever it is you're about to go and do, go change your paint water. And don't leave it looking like that. Blah. See you in 10. Bye. And welcome back. Hope you had a good break. I caved. I thought, I haven't had a drink for a little while, so I went and got myself a little bit of vodka in a Coke, and I've still got the rest of the Coke just down there, so if I feel like I've had a bit too much, I can have some soft drink instead. So here's to the weekend. Cheers, everybody. I thought it'd be nice because I've just realised that we've got a 197th subscriber during this show, so thank you very much to everyone who subscribed. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the show. If you like what we do here, it's a great way of showing a kind gesture to me, because I do all these wonderful things for you. That very quickly turned into an ego trip, which I didn't mean to happen, but I genuinely appreciate every subscriber and every follower, every viewer, even if it's just those fleeting seconds going, this isn't for me. I love you all. So cheers, have a lovely weekend, everybody. I've actually made a mild one for once. Love that. Cool. Yeah. So I've just been looking at some of the colours for this SAS squad. Actually was kindly sent a picture of the units that were painted by the guy who I'm sending these to, so I can see how he's kind of done it. And I'm just going to go with the original intention. I'm going to use some extra grey coats over the top of the sleeves to make them look a little bit darker, so the hoods stand out a little bit different, and just try to copy what I see here. Simple. I say simple. Let's just give it a go. Have some fun. Anyway, gonna take you over to the workbench. Here we go. So a brand new pot of green. I've got a lot of greens from Citadel. This is the darkest one. This is one that probably really matches what I see on the screen there the most. Yeah, I'm just gonna do some some grey washes over the top. Rely on those filters. So let's get a nice dollop out of the pot and get it into the palette. And I'm going to add just a bit of water to that to help it flow. And I'm going to paint all their hoods first, and then I'm going to go over all their sleeves and just see how the individuals evolve. Opened this one before. It's a shame. I was hoping that it was like a fresh pot of paint, but never mind. Okay. Lots of Blackadder colours going in there. Yes, I watched Blackadder the whole lot a few years ago. It's brilliant. And who doesn't fancy Miranda Richardson as Queenie? Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? Geoff says, I think it would be good if yours are a bit different than his. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of where I'm going with it, really. You've got to have a little bit of your own artisticness in there, haven't you? And I just don't think it's right to copy somebody else's stuff outright anyway. What's the point, first of all? The same with music. I'm a musician, a very rubbish one, but when I'm, playing somebody else's song, I don't like copying it exactly, because it's just, you might as well just put their song on. Do you know what I mean? Add your own character to it a little bit, bring your own thing to the table, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm definitely for that. And people's styles suit different paint schemes anyway. I was actually playing 40k for the first time in ages the other day with Kez. Came around my house and we played a little bit 40k in a different way. I'll get more into that in a minute. And my Space Marines that I was using, they're old. I painted them a long time ago, and I like them. Yes, there is a lot that I could do differently, and I do want to actually get painting Space Marines again soon. They're probably going to be my next lineup project. More on that later. But I like them. I like the way they look. And I'm going to try and copy them and improve on them. And it's interesting to see how my painting has evolved over the years. Just by taking one quick look at the Skitarii units that I've been painting recently. My very first Skitarii, I was really impressed with him, and within 12 months I've painted another couple of units, and the most recent ones look very different and better for it as well. It's interesting how our paint painting techniques improve. And I'm not doing anything really differently. I'm not trying to paint something, not trying to paint it different. I'm just trying to paint better. And it's nice to see it all coming together. Do you know what I haven't done? Let's get my little model clamp out. It's much easier to hold, and I'm probably going to need a very, very close vice here. So let's... Oh, do I need it that close? Can I go a little bit further? Let's try that. Very clever little idea for a little painting vice, isn't it? There we go, that's perfect. Together, please. And that just means I don't have to hold in and get fingerprints all over it. And me, of course. Much more comfy. Let's make sure I'm in shot. Shiv says, so Danny can get banned for playing Stairway, but you can duel it out after at least. Yes, I don't think I could ever play Stairway. We're talking about Stairway to Heaven, right? Right? No. I am a guitarist as well, by the way. Like, I can play the drums. I'm just, you know, I just hit things. I mean, who doesn't play the drums, right? But, yeah. I haven't picked up a guitar properly for many years, and I've actually been recently inspired to do so again. I'm a massive Dire Straits nerd. They are my favourite thing. Like, I like all sorts of music. I'm into classic, I'm into jazz, I'm into pop music. I love the 80s. But if I was to pick a thing, if I could only listen to one album for the rest of my days, it would be a Dire Straits album. I love them. They inspired me to play the guitar. They taught me what music really is. But yeah, I can't play anymore. And I was listening to some Dire Straits a little while ago, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to teach myself all over again. It's been so long that I'd love to just pick up a guitar and just play some music and add my own flair to it, of course. Can we get a manservant called Bob? Yep, please do. I think I need to get my little tiny brush out. There's a little gap inside the hood there. It's very hard to get this brush into. I also need some more of this colour. So let's get some more of this out. I'm going to get my mixing brush because it's a bit easier to be more aggressive and pull more paint out with this thing than it is my nice brushes. There we go, that's better. This is the right colour as well. I'm looking at what I'm painting here, and come on now, recognise my thumbprints. Thank you. It is the colour that I want. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But I need my tiny brush. Just don't want to get it all over his face mask. I don't want to have to. If I can get away with it, I don't have to like cover over other colours just because I was being lazy. It's going to be quite tricky painting his gas mask as it is, because I've got to try and make it look black, but I want to pull the detail out in there as well because it's his face. You know, you need it. You need that detail to stand out. I like it. It's nice. I did say that I was going to do all their heads together, but as he's in the vice, I'm just going to do them all together. Here we go. I like all kinds of music. Black and thrash metal, says Shiv. Big Metallica fan myself. Yeah, I love all sorts. But I love that early rock and roll, slightly infused with a bit of country. And I never really realised that country had a big part to play in it when I first discovered Dire Straits. But I really like their early stuff. I like all their stuff. As time went on, their music sort of sounds changed, as any band will. But I prefer their older stuff. Their debut album it's just bliss to my ears. I love it. It's so chill and mellow. And what is really particular about it is there's very little effects in the majority of their music, if any at all. And I think a lot of musicians and bands hide behind that. And it's, don't get me wrong, like I love a bit of distortion. I love some crunch to my guitar. But if you're good enough where you don't have to, where you don't hide behind anything at all, it takes some serious talent. Some serious talent. I'm going to do the trousers the same sort of grey-green. Yes, I am. I think. They got some nice knee pads on some of the models, I think. Can't see any of their shins in my photo, so whatever. Crumb says the Doom Eternal soundtrack is good for guitars. I don't know if I know it. I'll have to go and have a little search later on. I find music as well really ups my productivity. So if I'm working and I'm finding it difficult to concentrate, I'll pop some tunes on and it really helps me zone in. But if I listen to music for that purpose, and I listen to music with lyrics, I end up getting more distracted because I end up singing along, and you want to know the next song and know the next words, and you end up kind of getting in the groove. But if I put on lyricless music, I really, really get into it, and I love synthwave. Anything that's got that retro synth vibe to it is just fantastic. Looks like he's got some gear and bits and pieces hanging down from his belt, which I'm going to try to avoid painting right now. And the reason I'm trying to avoid painting it right this second is so that I can maintain the grey wash effect, so that I can still see all the detail. If I don't need to paint it right now, I won't. My smaller brush, because there's a few straps and things in there, which would be quite nice if I left them as they are, and I can paint them in different colours later on, probably blacks. I can't tell if this model is supposed to be wearing knee pads. I think he is. Because it looks like there's a strap there. If I paint that, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. See that little white line behind his knee? That looks like a strap, right? And it looks like there's another one just here as well. So if I paint underneath that, you can see that colour being pulled out. See those straps? So that is a knee pad, isn't it? Let's be honest. Yeah. Looks like he's got one going around the ankle as well. And I'm just going to give him some very, very simple black boots later. There's going to be nothing special about the boots. No one's really going to be looking at them. They're just going to be there. We know he's got feet. We just kind of crack on with it. And I mean, is that straps, or has he just got something tied up around his leg? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a quick look at the other gentleman's models. You can't see these pictures, but they are here for me. So, yeah. Just waiting for it to load. Oh, it won't load. Doing me head in. Nope, I can't see it. The picture has gone away. Okay, never mind. Geoff says, I've been listening to a bit of Jethro Tull of late. Oh, I love Jethro Tull. Broadsword and the Beastie was where it was always at for me. Naturally. Kez says, well, that's the bottom of the dropship green nut. Just need to fill in the gaps between the sections next. That's exciting already to know that you got so far ahead. Well done. Don't tell Grant, but I've only got one tank left to build. We don't have to get you to tell him, mate. We just wait for the next show you go to, and you're just going to buy him out of everything anyway, because we know the game. Buy more tanks, says Geoff. Yeah, please do. It's a fun game. I'll be sure that I can't find that photo. Come on now. No. No, it's just asking me to join a group now. That's very upsetting. You're going to have to send me that picture again, I'm afraid, because it's just, yeah, it doesn't want to show me. How very frustrating. Oh well, I'll drink to that. I assume he must be wearing knee pads. Brush it out. Just trying to make sure that I get every little bit of trouser painted in this green colour here. And I'm just going to come along later on and paint those boots black. Don't know what I'm going to do those straps yet. I might just do them jet black. Looks like he's got some knee pads on. I'll probably just paint those black. He's got like a little strap at the top of his thigh here that is clearly a part of his sort of big gun holster package. This just tied up at the top of his thigh. Yeah. When I was originally designing the colour scheme in my head, I was just going to do the arms and legs as like a nice dark grey and have the hood as green. But yeah, like you guys are saying, it's probably all one giant boiler suit. There's lots of different colour schemes in there. The picture now I'm looking at it does have hues of green in the sleeves and in the legs. So I'm quite happy to carry on as is here, and hopefully a lot of the coloration will just start to happen with using filters. Oh, resent, says Geoff. Lovely, thank you. Let's have a little look. I bet it's going to do the same thing. Yeah, it's asking me to join a group. Okay, I'll have to sort it out later on. That's fine. Whatever. Do you know what? Just join the group now. There's questions to answer. I'll come back to it. I can always put green on these knee pads if I need to later. If I need to. That was in there for Shiv. Nice little pun. Bit of a pun. Is Adrian still with us? No, I think we've had a viewer count drop. I think there's a few people that were watching that aren't watching now. I don't think Adrian's still there. I think it's Shiv, Crumbs, Geoff and Kez. Staff, I think. Yeah. It says I've got 4 viewers, but I just counted 5. So maybe my view count thing isn't all that accurate. Trying to work out where to get this green colour. It's quite frustrating. It's got like, is that shin pads or is that rolled up trousers? It's rolled up trousers, isn't it? Okay, cool. I'm gonna need to take them off the vice for a second, I think. I don't want to, but I think I have to. So at the front of his leg here, looks like that could be all one giant pad, but I think that there is supposed to be the bottoms of his trousers ruckled up underneath the strap of his shin pad or his knee pad, and that bit there, I think, is supposed to be the front of his trousers. Sure, that's it. That's looking pretty good, isn't it? Oops. Kev says, I'm here in body, but my mind went a long time ago. I'm so sorry to hear that. My light is on, but there's no one about. Please leave a message after the tone. I'm watching twice. Okay. Cool. Weird. I need a bit more paint in the palette there. Let's get some of that out. Nice colour, this Lauren green. Lauren Forest. I think I overwatered that. Never mind. I'll deal with that as we go. Oh, I'll have some more juice, thank you. Yum. I'm not reading that out, but it's funny. Danny's going to forget what that is in reference to, and I'm going to look unhinged more than I'm usual. more than normal. Oh, hi. Chef, by the way. No. You guys can talk about it. Shiv the unhinged. I overwatered this, but actually it's just the right consistency to be getting in some of those slightly more elusive areas, which is great because they're elusive and I don't like elusive. Unless I'm trying to be elusive. I don't like it when parts of my model are being elusive. As nice as a model as this is, metal models are never as good quality as a good plastic cast model, and there are a lot of areas on this model that are a little like, in the politest way possible, substandard. And when you find those little places, it's okay just to slap the paint on it and just get it coloured, you know? No one cares. The reason I was thinking that these might be like whole knee to shin guards is that right down here on the front of the foot, it looks like it's kind of scalloped out across the foot, like it's designed as armour that goes across the top of the boot. So I am going to have to take a little look at it later, but I'm painting it all green now as if it's trousers and not armour, because if I'm right, then I save myself some time by painting it. I can always go over it with another colour later if I need to. So there we go. There's the first one, all of its green painted, and later on I'm going to come back to him and I'm going to put a grey wash over all of those overall bits. I'm probably going to put a very light grey wash over the hood, and then a darker grey wash over the arms and the sleeves. Sorry, the arms and sleeves, the sleeves and the legs, and be done with it. If you look at the picture that I've made for reference on Facebook, you will see that there is a light green trim that goes around the front of the hood, and when the model is finished, I might just do that as a last little touch. But it might distract, so who knows. I'm going to start on the sleeves here because I'm using the wrong size paintbrush for the head. Might as well use what paint I've got here. on this brush and just kind of get this on the sleevey. Look at the way that grey colour has ran into the creases of his sleeve and his elbow. That's really nice, and that's the sort of thing that I'm hoping is going to come out later on when I give them another wash. Stands out. It's lovely. I really like it. Back to my single zero. Coming on. Much easier than I expected them to be, actually. We'll see how easy it maintains to be as the build goes on, but I'm enjoying it. It feels very much, you know, colour within the lines, and I'm enjoying that. I'm not trying to say that these minis are simple. I don't want to offend whoever the sculptor is, but they are. They feel like it's making my my job easy. I'm just enjoying keeping it simple and just painting within the lines. Clearly I've got a good primer base on. That's really helping me. I'm enjoying that. And it's nice to not have a stressful build. So many things I've been doing lately, it just requires so much effort. It's nice to just have one that I don't have to think about so much. It just kind of goes on. Had to build my last tanky wanky, says Stafford. Yep, not touching that with a barge pole. A discuss. They have red tape on the mags. Okay, cool, interesting. I'm going to see that on my reference picture. Cool. We'll have a little look at where the red tape's going to be. Is it because they've taped mags together upside down to one another for quick loading, or is it they just kind of put a stripe around them so that they can identify them for some need? Where is the tape? It's just like a little loop at the bottom. Is it the whole magazine is taped red? Tell me more. Say tanky wanky, says Geoff. Probably not. To give people a little bit of insight, it was a sentence that I typed into a group chat on Facebook Messenger without much thought. And I think I just need to leave that sentence there, really, because I think the more that I defend it, the worse it's going to get. Okay, this leg here definitely looks like it's got some shin armour on it, so maybe I do need to come back to that other model. There are definitely 3 straps on this one, ankle, below knee and above knee. So yeah, I need to find some more reference images. And after the show I'll go and join that group and have a look at that man's version of the miniatures. Same miniatures. It's the guy that I'm painting these for. See how he's painted his and see if he's actually got like knee and shin pads or if it's just shin pads. It's just a difficult thing to judge from the reference picture I've got because their knees and shins are all out of the image. What can you do? There's a guy in the background, I can see his knee, but he's so far in the background I just can't see his knees properly. Can't see the details. Once again, I have to take him out of the vice. Yeah, he's got a huge knee pad here. It goes all the way down the front. Interesting. Very interesting. Lovely. Number 2 done. Possibly 2 mags or live rounds. Alright, calm down. Sort of shouting at me there. Thanks very much. He still needs a girlfriend. Not touching it. Not touching it. Okay, I need some more of this paint. Okay, back to my number 2, and my number 0, sorry. This guy's hood. We've only got about 10 minutes or so, maybe less than that, before the end of the show. So if there's something you want to talk about, or show, or ask, or just talk amongst yourselves for a little bit, now's the time to do it, because in about 10 minutes we're going to be saying goodbye. And I've got some really bad news. I'm not going to be here next week, and I'm really sorry about that. And the reason for that, of course, is it's my anniversary. 6 years with my partner. We're going to be going out for the day and just spend an evening together, chilling out without the pressure of running the show. We don't really spend Friday evenings together. We have dinner together and then I come up here for hours and hours now. So I won't be here next week. I was thinking about running the show on a different evening. But actually, most people are already occupied because their lives are based around Easy 8 on a Friday. So we'll just not have a show next week. And I'm really sorry about that. But, you know, sometimes you've got to do things other than painting miniatures. But the week after, I will return, service as normal. Now, hopefully during the week I will have time to come up and just block in some more colours and get a few other bits and pieces done. So it'll be really nice if I was actually able to finish these miniatures and the next time we get together, and that will be in August. I will be around online. You can catch me on the normal platforms. If you're writing and talking about stuff on Facebook, I will see it going in. I will be around, so I will be able to talk to you guys. So don't be shy. Go and sign up to Facebook if you're not already there. Go sign up to Discord if you're not already there. I'll be around, so stay in touch. Definitely want you guys to get together. Feel free to use the Discord without me. It's there for everybody. You can all come together, paint some stuff in my absence together, get your own little club going. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And we can talk about what you did the following week. Upload your photos to Facebook next week, please. I want to see it. Pictures or it didn't happen. Just because I'm not here is no excuse for you guys to start slacking. Get some colour on your grey. Because the teacher wasn't in class doesn't mean you can start falling away, getting all unruly like. Less of that. Back to the smaller brush. Here we go. My watch is rubbing on me today. Stop doing that, please. It's very uncomfortable. Tell it's been a concentration evening because I've big long stretches without saying a word. So sorry for not being the entertainment I usually am, but I'm actually just really in the zone today. And it's nice to just really enjoy the painting. That's not to say that I don't enjoy the painting. I've really enjoyed all the stuff I've been doing recently. But I feel like I've just switched off a little bit in this one and just enjoying it for what it is. Just having a little bit of fun. And I think that it's helped that since I've been thinking about the project, I've had a very clear idea or plan in my head exactly how I'm going to tackle it and almost what colours to use. And I think that's made me feel much more confident going into this. I saw that colour picture and I thought, yep, I've got a green on the side that will do that. I'm going to use some Basilicon and grey to do a lot of the filtering. I'm going to use greys and blacks to define between all the different darker elements on there. And I've got to say, it's coming together. And I've made a slight adjustment, obviously, and that is the sleeves and the legs aren't just grey. They're going to be darker green. So I'll probably make a Basilicon and grey wash for his hood, and I'll add more water to it so it goes on thinner, so it will filter the colour less. But I'll use my normal thickness application for the rest of it, and if I need to I can do a second layer. But I like these, they're coming on very well. Now I will take a photograph of them and pop them up on Facebook for everyone. I know here on the screen it isn't always the best. So if everybody wants to see what I've done, then you'll be able to see that. And before I move on to his legs proper, taking them out of the vise, I think it's time that we came away from here. So here we go. What a great evening. I'm having a great time. It's a shame that it's ended. It feels like it's gone really, really fast. You know, I've had 2 days off this week. It doesn't feel like I've had 2 days off at all. It feels like I've had half an hour and 5 minutes of that's been spent here with you guys. I wish there was more. I've got another very long day of work ahead of me, starting nice and early, hard graft tomorrow, so I do need to get an early night, but I will be on Discord after this show, because we're not just here on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Discord, and you can join me after every show on the Easygate After Party on Discord. Links to all of our platforms are all down there, and you can come and join me and any of the guys that are in the live chat right now, and everybody else as well who comes along and joins in the live chat, the after party, you know what I mean, the Discord bit. It's always great to catch up with you guys, talk about the projects that you're doing, just catch up on life and have a chin wag. So I'm going to be carrying on this project over there in a minute. I'm going to at least get all the green finished, and I might have a little play with the grey filters as well. Excuse me. So yeah, that's what's happening today. There's loads of ideas I've got in the pipeline coming up for upcoming projects. First and foremost is going to be getting back into Space Marines. I've been wanting to do Space Marines for a little while. I want to get back into the 40k thing. I like to do a 40k thing, then go to something like historical or modern, like, you know, real world stuff. Then I like to go back to 40k, back to real world, back to 40k. It's just a nice way of bouncing through my whole collection. And this has been a nice side project that I've had waiting in the sidelines for a little while. So yeah, Space Marines is an old favourite of mine. I do the Raptors chapter, which is very similar sort of green colour to this, a little more olivey perhaps. And I was playing with my Space Marines over yesterday with Kez, playing a slightly different version of the rules, which I'm going to talk about later on. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I had a great time, and I really enjoyed looking at my Space Marines again. While I like the overall effect of them, I think that if I was to redo it and slightly grim-dark it, grind them up a little bit, I think I can make what is already a really nice colour scheme and well painted. I think I can make it look a lot better and a lot more mature, I hope. So yeah, I'm going to be getting on Space Marines soon. Now all my Space Marines that I've got, all my old school Marines, they're already painted, and I've got 3 tactical squads, 2 that I used regularly and 1 that I was kind of in the process of building. Now they're actually only a quarter of the way painted. They've just basically got their base colours on, and then they've been stained with like a brown wash or a black wash, and they haven't even got their rifles in their hands. So I've got 5 out of that little box that I had them in. Here's one right now. I'm actually looking at him. He hasn't even really got much of a wash on him. It's very, very rubbish. You can see that I was getting lazy by this point in my painting. And I'm going to give them all a thorough soaking in IPA. Not the Indian Pale Ale. No, no, no. What a waste of beer. These are going straight in the alcohol. The 99% strength. So they all get stripped back. I'm just going to do 5 at a time and see how effective they are. And the best thing about them is that whilst they're like almost completely constructed, they're at a place where I can paint them very easily. They haven't got the weapons in front of their chest, which is going to make them very easy to paint. And I'm just going to go back through them all and have some fun painting them with my new brushes, my new techniques, my new skills, and hopefully improve on an old colour scheme, an old technique, and just make them look really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to it. And that's just going to be 5 standard Marines. One of them is a sergeant, so he's got a bit more going on. We'll see how that goes. Where is that guy? Yeah, he's got a flag, he's got a little banner, he's got an axe, he's got a little pistol, and yeah, that's something special to look forward to. Anyway, that is enough of me this evening. Just gonna have a quick look over what we've got in the live chat here. Talk about shooting a glass. I don't really understand that. Don't think of it as buying more tanks. Think of it as increasing your arms response. Oh, that's the message to Stafford. Clearly. Staff needs more tanks. Shiv says, wait, if Danny isn't here next week, who's streaming for Easy 8 in his stead? No one's streaming for me, bro. You just gotta be in the Discord chat without me, not by yourselves. Come together as a group anyway, and maybe I'll be able to keep an eye on you from a mobile platform. But you know, I'm going to be courting and entertaining and having dinner and just chilling out and being together with my partner. 6 years, man. That's a long time. And yeah, there we go. Geoff says, thinks Staff could take over and paint his last tanky wanky. Not letting anyone sit in this chair and running this show, pal. It's all Discord. That's for you guys. Thank you for the stream. Damn good show. Thank you very much. Thank you for doing it, mate. A bottle of 43 coming your way soon. Thanks very much. Love that. Appreciate that. And they're utter pleasure to paint. So hopefully they'll come out really, really nicely. Anyway, from me, that's enough this week and for next week as well. I will be in touch. Do stay in contact. You've got all the platforms mentioned down there. And until next week, do subscribe. Thumbs up the video. Share it out there. Let's get the 200 subscribers. When you get the 200, I'll let the cats in. Trying to tidy up the workshop, ready for them to come in, but yeah, just hit that subscribe button. Let's get the 200 subscribers, get the word out there. That will make my day. Thank you very much. And until the week after next, you guys stay safe, be kind, keep on painting, get some colour on your grey, and I'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye bye. All that's left for me to do now is to try and remember what 43 is so that I can really say thanks. Don't forget me, Shiv.